this kind of is a perfect transition to who's getting dogged right now, because the person who I feel like is getting dogged right now is like it ties in together to what the WWE has been doing recently with tag teams. For some reason, I don't know why the WWE has been doing this. I feel like ever since like The Rock and Mick Foley kind of joined together and made that The Rock and Sock connection, the two unlikely people that like to team together, and then the fans actually loved them. I ain't gonna lie, it has worked in the past, but for some reason the WWE seemed like they has made that become the new like foundation of how teams are joined together now. Like, what I mean is, if we talk about the topic, who is getting dogged in professional wrestling right now? I know we got the Ricochets, we got all those guys that are really getting dogged, but one of my people that I feel like is getting dogged right now, and yet it's not on the level of Ricochet being dogged, but I want to talk about Rhea Ripley. Why? I was watching Monday Night Raw this past week, and I forgot what is her name, the lady that wears the little superhero costume now. I forgot what is her name? She wears the superhero costume.
She was Nikki Cross.
Yeah, she was Nikki Cross, but they got a different name for her now. Like, but whatever, we're gonna call her Nikki Cross still. So I seen that they had Rhea Ripley teaming up with Nikki Cross, the superhero version. I don't remember her name, the new version, but basically they got them teaming together, and I'm just like, why are they teaming together? I'm like, I don't understand how this alliance came to be. They were just in a triple threat match with Charlotte that they were both fighting for the women's championship. Now all of a sudden Charlotte is now the champion, Rhea Ripley, and now they call her, is it Ashley Cross? I don't even know what they call her now, but basically they're now teaming together, and they were challenging the women tag team champions, which is Natalya and what's her name? Forgot what's her name? Forgot her name, but basically Natalya and her partner right now are the women's champions, and they were challenging them basically. And I was just like, how in the world has Rhea Ripley gotten to the point that she's just tagging with Nikki Cross? And where are we going with this? I'm like, what is going on? Why is Rhea Ripley not in the women's championship conversation right now still? I was like, this is just random stuff that WWE is doing, like creating these random storylines, and Rhea Ripley is she's just in something that we just like, okay, she's just doing this right now.
I don't know. Maybe things didn't plan out the way that they thought they were going to be for her, and they thought they were going to be making her a lot bigger than what she should have been. And unfortunately, this is just how it's playing out. This is how we kind of call it getting dogged, because when I look at Shayna Baszler, when I look at Gold Girl, like, I really think these are the kind of women you want to get behind, and make these be you dang you like your pillars for women's wrestling, and instead you just have them in roles and gimmicks that don't quite make sense. It's like, it's weird that Shayna Baszler steamrolled everybody in that Elimination Chamber 2 years ago, I think. Mm-hmm. And yet she's not champion, which is weird. Now, in fact, that was the one where Becky Lynch beat her on a roll-up. I'm like, what?
A roll-up pin? Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, like, it's like, it feels like, dare I say that, it's like you're gonna get disrespected a couple years coming out of NXT, to the point to where, if you survive the disrespect, you might have a great chance at having a career in the WWE, or at least a long one, or at least one where it has highlights. Because, man, right now, like you said, Rhea Ripley is getting dogged in the same way how Bianca Belair got dogged. Like, what? She loses that quickly?
Oh yeah, let me give you the actual name. So Nikki Cross' name now is Nikki Ash. That's what they call her, Nikki ASH. I guess that's what Nikki ASH. And then correction, Natalia and Tamina. I'm sorry, Tamina. I remember your name now. Natalia and
Come
Tamina.
on, isn't that, that's Jimmy Snuka, Jimmy Snuka Fly? Super Slide Snuka?
Yeah.
Isn't that his daughter? Come on.
Yeah. So that I was gonna say that, but I was like, I'm gonna end up remembering it. Tamina, I actually like Tamina too. So it's Tamina and Natalia. They are the women's tag champions right now. So that's who Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley were facing. It's like right now they got Rhea Ripley going after basically the women's titles with Nikki ASH, and I'm just like, that is the most unlikely team. Like, it don't make no sense. Nikki has on a superhero costume. Rhea Ripley looks like a punk rock like bodybuilder basically. Like, I'm like, what is going on? How is this even a team? I was like, what's going on?
It don't even fit. Oh my god, it's like the way I feel about it, man. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's just that kind of level of ridiculous, because it'd be like teaming up Asuka with somebody that's not Japanese. It's gonna look weird. I think either somebody's out the door or they just really don't know what to do right now. The fact we even gave Nikki Ash that attire is kind of wild to me. I get it, superheroes are big, but it ain't that big and positive enough to do something like that. God dang, man, just god dang.
Who would you say is getting dogged the most right now in professional wrestling?
That's a list.
It's everybody.
Nah, man, but I feel like a person that's been getting dogged or just not being used to their full abilities is what's it called? It's probably Jeff Hardy. Again, granted, they gave Jeff back his music, and he had a great, or if not excellent, ladder match back a couple years, I think last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, man, we could be really making him like one of the best champions out there, and we could have brought back the hardcore championship with him, man. And we just not doing it. We're not doing a lot of things, man. I mean, yeah, he had a great match with Sheamus, but it's like, bro, every time they do something with them, it leads to nowhere, man. And I feel like if I was booking him, I would probably be making him just being like my intercontinental champion, but he's going to be like the strongest intercontinental champion you've ever seen. Yeah, and I feel like, or if not, have him the hardcore champion, because it's obvious he still wants to do these kind of matches, man. I don't understand, man. It's like, man, it feels like they don't know what they got, man. It's like a mismanagement of resources completely.
You know, it's funny that you brought up Jeff Hardy. He was someone I was going to bring up. I'm not sure if you've seen, Jeff Hardy was in he was kind of trending in the wrestling world because a couple weeks ago he was seen being a part of the chase for the 24/7 championship. I'm not sure if you've seen the clips, but he was with just the random wrestlers chasing after the 24/7 champion. Jeff Hardy was in that line running. It was just like, why is Jeff Hardy there? Like, what is going on with WWE right now?
You know what you could do? Similar to how the hardcore championship had like anybody can grab it, they should let Jeff get it and let him hold on to that title for the longest. Because god dang, every time I see someone show up on the 24/7 belt train, is nothing good. That means you out the door. We've seen it happen to EC3. We've seen it. Was it Buddy Murphy on that train too? Oh my god!
If you on that train, you know your career ain't doing too good. That's in the WWE at the very moment. Like, you may be making money, but you may be on your way out. Like, cause if you on that train and you ain't the one with the belt, and especially if you're in the back of the line, then you really, it's looking bad for you. It's looking bad for you.
Oh my god! They gotta. It's like, I used to like that belt because they had like a lot of great comedic talking points and stuff like that. But it's just like, enough's enough. You got to do something serious with this belt, or else it's gonna be looking like we're almost out of here belt.
Man, what happened to Cesaro? Is he injured?
It's a good chance he's injured. But remember how hard they were pushing Cesaro? Like,
Man.
I thought Cesaro would have been champion by now.
That's why I brought him up, because I'm like, I ain't seen Cesaro in so long. I'm like,
it's weird.
He was getting pushed and then he's disappeared.
Yeah, and it was weird because it's like, Another thing I remember about Cesaro is like, he's always on up, up, down, down. So I'm like, where is he at the moment?
Yeah. But is one more other person that I want to mention on this list that who's getting dogged for me this week, because I wanted to bring up the fact that, of course, like we always bring up Ricochet. Ricochet is he's probably getting dogged the most right now in the world, but we always bring up Ricochet. But this person I want to bring up, similar to Rhea Ripley, they have had great moments in the WWE, but we're talking about currently right now. I don't like what the WWE is doing with one more person, AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, another guy that should be your champion.
Exactly. I'm like, this man, what is wrong with the WWE? I'm like, this man, he built himself up in the WWE. Like, we already knew how great he was in TNA, but then he became so great on SmackDown that he became a big name in the WWE as well.
Yeah.
Not only that, like New Japan Wrestling, like AJ Styles, he everywhere he goes, he becomes the top dog. They started off right too. They started off right when he was going one-on-one with John Cena, giving us 5-star matches. Then he became the champion on SmackDown. He put SmackDown back on the map in our time. And then it's like, what are they doing again with him? Like, why are y'all wasting someone that just had a boneyard match, had the last match with The Undertaker, AJ Styles, that person that we were saying was at that level. This man is just now in the tag team division. And I'm just like, what are y'all doing with him? Like, Raw needs competitors to try to go after the WWE championship. I'm like, how's AJ Styles not in that title picture? I don't understand what's going on right now. The man was facing Undertaker. The man was the champion on SmackDown for, I believe, almost a year or close to that. Like, what are we doing? Like, they're dogging AJ Styles right now.
Yeah, what's weird? I pay attention to AJ Styles, a couple of his matches and stuff like that. The number one thing I keep seeing, people don't like the new AJ Styles, man. They feel like he's a shadow of his former self, like a shell. I'm like, come on, it ain't that bad. But then with, like you said, it's like we have no great direction with him. I'm glad they teamed him up with Omos and they kind of made him like, like he's a champion that's kind of like, I need protection. But I'm like, come on now, you AJ Styles, you don't need protection. I've seen you in TNA, man. You fought the odds many times over, man. You don't need protection.
Yeah, man.
I feel like they don't know who they got. I don't feel like they know that's AJ Styles. I think they think AJ Styles is some guy that walked in one day.
But that's what's crazy is like they treated him right though. I'm not gonna say they always dogged AJ. AJ was being treated right in the WWE. I loved his storyline I loved when he was the champion. He was the face that ran the place of SmackDown. I loved his rivalry with John Cena. I mean, he had great matches, period. Like we were just talking a few years ago, him and Shinsuke Nakamura headline WrestleMania.
Another guy that's been dogged to high hell. God dang, man. It's like, I feel like I wish what they would do with Shinsuke is like have a partnership deal with New Japan Wrestling or something like that, and have Shinsuke wrestle and do things the way he used to do in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I think that'd be dope. Like just to have those kind of matches, man. But WWE though, it's not in the business of making the greatest decisions at the moment.
Cause I'm just like, you had people that was like, it's funny because it seems like right now they don't have enough wrestlers to be in the heavyweight title picture. Basically, they don't have enough challengers to go against Roman Reigns or enough challengers to go against the Raw WWE champion. But it's like, no, they do. They built up these people to be larger than life that made the fans love him. AJ Styles built himself up through the years. Then the WWE also continued with building him up when he first got there. But then they just allowed him to go stale. Like now, when I used to, do you know what's crazy? When AJ Styles had a match on SmackDown just a couple years ago, I used to be like, oh, this is about to be one of the best matches, no matter who he was wrestling. Now I don't even care that he's wrestling. It's like, I mean, it's like AJ Styles is wrestling. They got rid of the aura that AJ Styles was putting on 5-star matches with everybody. Then now it's just like, It's just AJ
It
Styles
went
and
from the
almost.
phenomenal one to the ordinary one, man.
Man.
This would be like, this went from, hey, look, it's Superman to super ordinary man. Like, come on, bro.
I don't know.
We got to do something better with AJ Styles.
Man.
And it's weird. It's like, because we gave him like a lot of the members that were in the Bullet Club and stuff like that. And then we, instead of just making like doubling down on that stable, we just kind of let that flounder out, you know. Kind of after the Undertaker Rivalry match, you know, AJ Styles hasn't been the same. Like, remember that ridiculous match where they went all the way up in the new WWE towers?
Yes,
they fought their way from the top.
Yeah,
I think that was the moment where AJ Styles disappeared. That was the moment.
Yeah, like I don't know what they did. Like, I mean, he was the Raw Tag Team Champion, one half of it, but it's like, man, they got to get him out of this. They got to get him out of this little realm of the tag team division. Build up tag team wrestlers. Stop trying to form these little random connections with people and just have them become tag teams. Like, actually find tag team wrestlers who's been tag team their whole entire career, even before you sign them to the WWE. Build up real tag teams. Stop just putting people together randomly. I don't understand why WWE keep doing that. It's
or
like,
how about you let the wrestlers who are tag team wrestlers wrestle that way? You know, I think his name was Tucker. You know, the big dude that was the champion last year for Money in the Bank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember they got rid of his tag partner. All right, so the Viking War Raiders. Those two are a dope tag team, but remember, I think were they involved in that ridiculous match?
I think Otis was.
Okay.
Yeah, Otis. I think he won the Money in the Bank. Yeah.
No. Remember that terrible match from last year, where because we're in COVID wrestling, and
Oh, I know what you're talking.
And they had the fake alligator in the stumps. Yeah, no. This is what we're saying. People get dogged. I'm like saying, why not have the Viking War Raiders be your champion? They on NXT, they were dope. It made me want to watch every match they had. And he was like, dang, these dudes are big, but they're athletic. And I'm just like, we could have had like a big man Thor in wrestling. Instead, we just, put them in terrible matches. Jesus Christ, man.
Build up the tag team division again, WWE. But before we move on to the next topic, the better career debate with Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, let us take a quick break. But I want to hear y'all comments on that, man. What do y'all think about the tag team division right now in the world of wrestling, especially in the WWE? Let us know, man.